Holy crap, my mic is working. Alright, guys, my mic has fixed itself somehow, so before it magically unfixes itself, I am going to record a long overdue, long requested rant from Funky Boy Haas, who asked that I listen to two albums from the band Clutch, those albums being Summer Sound Attack and Psychic Warfare. Psychic Warfare is the one I'm mainly going to be talking about here, as it was my favorite of the two pretty solidly. It's not that Summer Sound Attack wasn't good. In fact, I thought it carried a lot of the same appeals that Psychic Warfare had. It's just I felt that Psychic Warfare had all of that to a slightly greater degree, and it's the one that stuck in my mind more. It's the one that had a few more memorable tracks for me personally, but at the end of the day, I only listened to these albums one time, and honestly, I think it can easily be forgotten, but listening to a song one time, at least for me personally, someone who's not extremely well versed in music and really likes to have it sit and give it a little bit of time to sit in your ears and hear it a couple times to really appreciate it. This might not actually be the most accurate presentation of how I will feel about these songs moving forward, because there are a couple of them that I've put on some of my playlists. So just a thing to think about, just a reason to take these thoughts with a grain of salt. But overall, there's not much you're going to need salt for, because I have an overwhelmingly positive impression of the album Psychic Warfare. There was a lot to like. I was listening to it on one of the first days at my new job as a pizza delivery driver. Now, ladies, please, ladies, back up. Ladies, chill. Ladies, chill. Sorry, guys. I don't know what just came over them, but basically, I deliver pizzas now, and it's a fantastic excuse to just listen to music all day, and it perfectly coincided with me having a music rant request. So I was listening to these albums while driving around, and one of the first thoughts I had, which is a little bit weird considering that they are highly different contexts, but I think you guys will be able to clearly see the similarities. I don't know that I have a very articulate way of explaining this, but it just seems like the perfect soundtrack for a road trip. I don't really know what I even mean by that totally, but I feel it very strongly. This album is it's a pretty varied album. I'm not too educated on the subgenres of rock music, but I can tell it's certainly dipped. Alright, well, my mic stopped working again, and I have no way of checking where I was in the middle of my sentence, because my audio software is inexplicably glitching out majorly. I'm having a great time with my computer right now, but I think I was saying something about the albums. Would have been nice to be able to complete... Okay, sorry. But, basically, one of my favorite things about the albums was their range, especially Psychic Warfare. I'm not really sure the proper terminology for it, but there were times where the album felt almost psychedelic, and then other times where it felt very straightforward, the type of music that your dad would tell you, or not your dad, but your uncle would tell you is real music. Turn off this fake rippity rap stuff. We gotta listen to some AC/DC. But, sometimes your uncle is right, and this is the kind of music that I feel like your uncle would be right about, if that makes any sense at all whatsoever. One of the first things I immediately noticed was just the texture and energy put into the lead singer's voice. That is one of my favorite things. That's one of the number one things I look for when looking for new music to listen to, or bands, acts, artists that I like, is their voice. The texture of their voice, how much they push it. It's just one of my favorite things about music, and I'd be lying if I told you I know exactly why. But that was one of the things that was keeping me eagerly going on to the next song without break. And I was just honestly having a really good time with it. It's interesting because I was driving around, as I mentioned earlier, it felt like the perfect soundtrack for a road trip. I just feel like I don't know if there's a better way to say it than, this'll put hair on your chest. This is Haas music. I'm not even totally sure what the word Haas means, All I know is Gold Lewis Dickinson from Guilty Gear says it, and I know that the word Haas feels like what this music sounds like. You got the gritty man, lead singer, you got these, and I mean, amazing vocals. You've got just very energizing, varied music. You got a lot of like, it's an intense song. Most of these songs are intense songs, but at the same time, like riddled throughout is like a constant sense of, you know, humor and absurdism and subversion and stuff of that nature. So it never really takes itself too seriously, and it's just all around a really, really, really good time. There are tons of catchy, memorable songs. You know, of course, Quick Death in Texas and X-Ray Vision, I think I would assume were just the most popular tracks off that album, judging by the fact that they were the two with music videos, which I was not watching while I was driving, by the way. I can promise you that. But I just noticed that they were the only two with music videos, and they were probably the catchiest too. Like, this music is really catchy. Particularly, once again, I keep reiterating, but particularly on Psychic Warfare. The music is super catchy. The vocals are super textured. The energy that the music gives off is very strong. It's like, you know, obviously I can't totally describe why I feel the vibes I feel about it. I'm pretty bad at talking about music, in all honesty. Like, it's probably the thing that I am by far the worst at talking about. But the best way that I can summarize how I felt about this album is that I have hair on my chest now. I just do. I have hair on my chest now, and I have a job delivering pizzas, and pizza delivery is real. I love you guys. I hate my mic. I recorded this like 5 times. Bye.